So lately, I've been getting tons of emails and messages and DMs wondering how I became a hoof trimmer, how much it costs to be a hoof trimmer, and how others could go about becoming a hoof trimmer. So today, that video is for you. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. So while I work on this white line, we're going to cover all of those things. How did I get started? Well, it all started when I was a little kid. I worked on a dairy farm. I grew up on a dairy farm, spent all my time living and working and being around cows. So I had that going for me right from the start. But later on, after I graduated high school, I went to college at Winona State University in Minnesota, and there I worked on another dairy farm to put my way through college. While I was there, one of the jobs that I had on that particular farm was to help their hoof trimmer get the cows in the chute, get them, help them pick up feet and things like that so that he could be more efficient in trimming. Like I said, that was one of my jobs. So over the course of a year or so, I started to realize, hey, maybe I could do this. I had always wanted to have my own business, and this seemed like a natural fit. And after becoming friends with that particular hoof trimmer, I thought, well, I'm going to ask him, see if he'll train me to do this on my own. And he agreed. So I continued my college education. Once I finished that, I started training with this guy. His name is Wayne Wendt. He's from Plainview, Minnesota, and he decided to train me, and thankfully he did. So after I graduated, I immediately started to train with him. Spent several months working alongside him, learning all about hooves, learning about the anatomy of them, how to trim them properly, how to deal with and work with farmers, different situations on farms, all of those things he taught me as we trained. Now, over the course of that, of course, that wasn't free. I paid him to actually do that. So my payment to him was $8,000 at the time. He trained me for 3 months, gave me all the things that I needed to know, and actually gave me some farms to start with, some of his customers to work on to get that experience after I'd been trained, to get the reps. And that's really the key to this whole thing, is getting enough repetition so that you can get really good at what you're doing. And over a 3-month time frame, you're not going to get really good, but you're going to get those basics down. You're going to be able to perform a good quality hoof trim, and you're going to learn all those things that you need to during that process. However, like I said, you still have a lot to do after that. You need to build the business on your own, build your business. So that's what I set out to do next. How did I do that? Well, first thing I did was I got a list of all of the registered dairy farmers in the state of Wisconsin from the Department of Agriculture. That might be different for each state, but I got that list, and then I was able to find which farms were in my area, or the area that I wanted to work in, and then I created a letter explaining who I was, what I was about, what I was trying to do, and I sent it to all of those farmers that I thought that I might want to work for. Now, this was in 2002. It didn't take long to figure out that hoof trimmers were in high demand. I was able to fill my entire trimming availability in 1 year. I had a full schedule, no more openings. So I kept trimming in my new area, and in 2005, I was married, and my wife actually got a job in the southern part of the state. So I thought about relocating my business. I took a look around and decided, yep, I can do that. Looks like there's enough work there too. So once again, I had to start rebuilding a new business in a new location. So I did the same things, sent letters out and built a new business in this new area. Once again, filled up fast, and then I sold my northern route to another hoof trimmer. Now, what did it cost to do all that? Well, when I first started trimming, I bought a truck in a chute. My truck was, at the time, I spent about $20,000 on the truck. You obviously could do that for less, and I bought a new trimming chute to start. I was able to get financed, so I did that. Wanted to have the newest and most efficient equipment that I could to make my business run as smoothly as possible when I started. So that's the route I take. I know that's not an option for everybody, and you can certainly do it for a lot cheaper with a cheaper tow vehicle or an older chute to get started. Other things you're going to need tools for your trimming, your discs and your grinders and all that stuff to get started. That's going to cost you probably another $1,000 to $2,000 as well, but it can be done. But if you've never been around cows before, the first thing is to learn about cows. You're going to need to learn their behaviors, learn how they operate on farms, and what the best way to set up your trimming business on those farms to make it efficient for both you and the farmer. So you need to get the experience with the cows first, how they work, and then you can go about training to do this. It's not something you can just hop into. You need some experience to learn all these things if you want to succeed. So I hope that helps answer that question. Just if you really wanted to do it, learn about cows, maybe apprentice with another hoof trimmer to get that experience. If you can't afford to buy all the stuff new, buy used, get that experience with a hoof trimmer that knows what they're doing. Go out there and just slowly work your way into the business if you wanted to actually do that. It's not all fun and games, though. I'll tell you that. It's not all just helping cows. We spend half of our day at the back end of a cow that eats about 100 pounds of vegetable matter a day. So you can pretty much understand what that means. It's a dirty job, but it's a rewarding job as well. You get to work with cows all day and earn a living doing it. Oh yeah, how much you get paid? Well, that's all up to you. I charge $14 for a normal trim. Blocks and wraps are extra on top of that, so it's all on how many cows you want to trim in a day. I trim about 45 to 50 cows on average, so you can do the math on all of that. And that's going to do it, guys, as we get this cow back to the pasture.